Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. And my name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be taking a look at how Civ 7 runs on Switch 2 when you get past sort of the first stage and, you know, there's more going on. So, there's a couple of things I want to just address straight away. So you can see I'm using the mouse here. So I can't remember who it was, somebody asked in the comments about how well, you know, playing in mouse mode, does it work on your leg? Now, so you can currently see I'm on mouse mode. This is on my desk. I'm going to put the mouse on my leg, and you can see this is just me using it. Now, what I will say quickly before we get on with more things, if you have got baggier clothes on, it isn't going to work very well. My trousers are quite tight, I guess, and it works pretty well. I still had a couple of input issues, but for the most part, it works fine. The other thing that I will recommend is if you go into the settings of the Nintendo Switch, you can adjust the mouse speed. I put it on fast, and that is so much better. I like having a fast mouse. So, whoever it was that asked, that's your answer. Yes, it does work on your leg. Yes, it's playable. Or the only thing I didn't try was the arm of the chair, but I did try it on my leg. And it worked fine, for the most part. But, we are here also to check out how does this game run? Now, this is at the very start of a new age. This is me. I've forgotten the name of this character. Amina. And I've got a bunch of cities, as you can see, spread out. I'm also zoomed all the way out. That's zoomed all the way in, but I like to have it all the way out. And you can see that there are other people, and this is the bottom left. This is all the map that I've uncovered so far. So there's quite a big chunk. This is a standard map size, because right now I believe the Switch 2 only has that. They are going to be adding in huge and large maps, and maybe I come back and test what they're like. But right now, this is what it is. So, how is this game going to run now that we're in a second age? Now, I can say positively, like, we're just going to play a little bit. I can say positively that, for the most part, the game actually runs the more you get. You'll see that when you hit end turn, and I'll do this in a minute, that's usually when the game chugs the most. But, like, actually playing the game on my turn, I don't seem to have any issues. So, what's this city here? Let's get a stone cutter, because that's pretty good. I don't want to override that. Let's put it there. And we're just going to play through. I gotta say, the mouse mode stuff has been a godsend, like, literally playing the game with this. It's really pleasant. Like, the actual normal controls, the buttons are absolutely fine. I very much like how it runs without them. And let's re-put my resources back in. Yeah, we want a bit of happiness, a bit of gold there. Now, what else have we got going on here? We got towards missionaries and temples. I don't even know which city. Oh, these are all cities, aren't they? Oh, okay. Well, we should split some of this stuff. Anyway, got low happiness. Oh, weirdly enough, my capital. So we'll put some happiness in there. Make them all happy, and then a lot of this other stuff. It's not less of an issue. So we'll just slot these in where we can. But in terms of performance, while I'm doing this, it's been surprisingly good. Like, it definitely chugs a little bit when you hit end turn because a lot's going on. But it's not at a point where it's going to cause any issues. At least that's not what I found anyway. Alright, let's just rattle through all my policies. Yeah, we'll have one of them. Resources adjacent. That could come into handy. Let's just go with that for now. It's the only downside with starting up a new turn. You gotta, like, start searching things. Yeah, Gristmill seems fine. But yeah, overall, like, I think if you are worried about this game running, I mean, I haven't played the actual Switch version of it. I know that the Switch version was slow. Civ 6 was kind of slow on that as well. But ultimately, I've not really. I've been playing it and not really come across anything that's, like, noticeably chuggy. Like, I'm not going, oh my god, this runs really badly. It's all just been like, oh, this is pleasant. We'll shove that there. And once I've quickly gotten through this, we'll be able to show that off a bit. Ooh, bizarre. 7 gold. That's what we like to see. One thing I have noticed is with this game and stuff is the AI can be very erratic, so expect that a lot when playing it. We'll have another bazaar as well, I think. We'll plonk it there. And we're almost done. Now we can get onto the good stuff. Yeah, get some more production. Right, fantastic. So we've got units. So let's assemble the army there. I've got my boat. I think the army guy, you can just stay alert for now. I believe I can cross the ocean, so we should try looking at doing that. There we go. Over there, please. But I've got units. I've got a few units here and there. Stay alert. So I always tend to have some army. You can fortify. You can also fortify. And also you'll notice at the top here, oh, they're all neutral with me. They're all basically hating on me anyway, because that's what the AI does most of the time in this game. Right, cool. So, let's look at something. Let's see if I can get the game to obviously show some stutter, maybe. Zoom in on this. Zoom out all the way. Like, I'm going to hit enter now. And you're going to see, like, my mouse moves a little bit slower. Some of this stuff moves. Yeah, there we go. Do you see that? There's a guy moving there. You can see that the game definitely chugs when you hit end turn, right? Now it's my turn again. Absolutely fine. Goes back to running how you'd expect. So that's something to be aware of. That's really the biggest thing that I've noticed. Now, you may notice that I've only got half the map explored anyway. So I don't know. It might even be even worse when we get into the third age. But if the game's only time of like lagging out, we'll go here. Okay with that. If the game's only time lagging out is essentially when I hit end turn, that's not too bad. And you saw that currently that I hit end turn and it was perfect. Here we go. So let's zoom in this time. We've got Damascus here. They've got units. You can see they're running fairly right. Let's hit end turn to see if it slows down. There's some stutter there now. Ooh. Maybe I need to do these units first. Cool. Go there. Harvest the crabs. And then is it one turn? Oh, go that way for me. But yeah, you can always tell by the units because their animations become. Yeah, you can see the mouse moves. The animations do sometimes get halved. But that's it. That's really the only thing I've run into where it's. And if you're zoomed out, by the way, because it's rendering more of the map. You're also going to have that more of an issue. Personally, I think that this version of the game, in its current state, is very, very playable. I understand that people might be like, well, you've gotten past the first stage. There's a bit of lag when it's loading. Is the game going to continue to run if I build more units, if I uncover more of the map? Like, I think you're only going to notice it during that end turn phase. Again, we just zoom in. Like, I'm zoomed out now. We zoom in a little bit. You just look at the units there. You can look how the mouse. Like, that was actually pretty smooth. My mouse isn't having any issues, which is good. But you can see that sometimes the animations stutter. You can see that if I was to run the mouse over the ribbons, there will stutter the mouse movement and stuff. So it is there. It is noticeable. I don't know if it's the same with the PC version. I can't remember. But playing this game, you are going to have some of that happen during that end turn phase. Other than that, I would say the game runs as expected during this. Like, sometimes if I shoot the camera around, if I'm zoomed all the way out and I start just shooting the camera around, you'll notice sometimes it might like stutter a little bit. Like, just then, like coming across here, you can see that it's actively like stuttering or like not running as quite smooth. So it does happen. But I am not in a position where I'm going, this is unplayable. I'm not having issues like this. Are these guys not friendly? They must be friendly, right? Let's befriend them. Yeah, cool. I'm not having those issues of like massive like load times. Like, yeah, the load time's quite long, but it's not like unbelievably long getting into the game. The fact that it might lag a little bit on those loading, like the end turn thing, whatever. Now, I'm obviously playing against the AI. I can't speak to it, what it'd be like playing someone online or what it'd be like playing with other humans. But if you're going to play this game on its own, like you saw then, there was a bit of a lag. It's going to happen. I think but because it's turn-based, and I don't want to say this is an acceptable thing, but because it's turn-based, it is not that much of a problem. Hopefully, if you're going to play long games with this on a standard map, with the maximum amount of AI and stuff, it probably will get a little bit chuggy in that third age as well. But because it's the start of this age right now, then maybe there's a lot less units. The independent powers are spawning back in. They usually have quite a few units, so that's a good way of testing it. And if you're playing militaristic, you're going to build a lot anyway. But all I can say is that I think this game runs an acceptable levels on Switch 2. From the couple of hours of doing the first age and like building out and exploring, I've got to play through the second age, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be more than playable. And that, like, yes, when I hit that end turn button, it's going to cause a bit of lag, but is that really an issue? As long as the turn's not taking like 5 minutes to get through, then I see that as a win. I see that as that this is a good option, and it's good to see that the game is running in a way that's actually, you know, like playable. What happened? Build that there. Yes, I'd like to build over that. Like screens like this, there's a lot of information here, and even that's still running fine. So I'd say that you are in for a good time playing this. I don't think it's something you need to be worried about. Little bit, like, again, little stutters here and there. There you go. Like, you can, there you are, perfect. You see how the camera's become really erratic, like me moving that around during that end turn. That's the worst of it. That is the worst you're gonna get. So, for people that might be worried about this game running on Switch 2, I'd say you'd be okay. 1, it's turn-based. 2, if the biggest issues are during the end turn, and you saw that turn didn't take that long, you're good. Yeah, I can imagine if you've got a big army and you're marching an army across somewhere to take people out, that might put a little bit of strain on it. But to be honest, because each individual unit fires on its own, I don't think you're going to have any problems. If anyone wants to correct me on this, I've only played the first age, and you're seeing me play the second age now, and I intend to play this age and get through an entire game. I imagine it is going to be a tiny bit more chuggy towards the end, but for a Switch 2 version, with these upgrades and all that, and I can definitely say now, having played a few hours of using mouse mode, I really like mouse mode for this game. I think it is such a boon for the Switch 2 to have this ability, and having the analog stick on my left hand to move the map around, and then be able to use the arrow mouse pointer controls. I love it. It won't be everyone's preferred way, but I think it's really good. So I know a bit of a shorter video today, but I hope this is answering people's questions of how this game runs on Switch 2 when there's more going on. Obviously, I can't see into all the fog of war, but you can already see that I've explored a good chunk of this map, and hopefully we'll be able to report back. If people want to know, then I will report back again once I've played a complete game. If people want my updated thoughts on the game, I am waiting for the most recent patch to come to Switch 2 that adds a lot of things in. If you're interested in my early thoughts, there is a video, and maybe I'll put a link to that in the description, from the PC version from months back when I first played it to now. I will say the game is a lot better. But for people wanting the Switch 2 version or thinking about getting the Switch 2 version, yes, it seems more than acceptable. If I get through the game and that changes, I will let people know. But for right now, from what I've experienced, this is a perfectly playable version, and I hope that this is, if someone's on the fence, this can help decide that decision for you. So anyway, that's going to do it for me today then, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like the video, helps out a lot, much appreciated. Hit that like button for me. If you want to see more content on Switch 2 stuff, or just more content of going over games, hit subscribe. That's my plan. I'm always going to keep doing this stuff. And until next video, I will see you then.